everybody on YouTube? My name is Mikey16 and welcome to a reaction channel not a reaction channel, what am I talking about? Reactions to top 10 wide receivers move the sticks. This appeared in, I think that's October, I can't count, October or August 30th, 2015. So this is talking about the top 10 wide receivers. Here we go. Let's get a move on.
It's Daniel Jeremiah. Twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays, move the six. The only show in town. We also offer the Dave Damashek football program fantasy podcast, which we highly endorse. And then there's the Around the NFL guys. We like to give them a hard time, but we actually do respect them and respect the hard work they put in, including Chris Wessling, who is loving some top 10 lists. And this week he's got a receiver board for you to check out, Buck. Yeah, this is.
So guys, I really don't agree with this list. I don't think Dez Bryant or Steve Smith should be on that list. I do not think that they should. Okay, maybe Dez Bryant, I'll give him a little. But Steve Smith, what? Steve Smith did not really do anything. To be honest, he didn't really do anything. And in my top 5, I did a top 5 wide receivers. Really, this is kind of weird. Odell Beckham, like, kind of overrated. AJ Green should not be up that high. DeAndre Hopkins should be for AJ Green's spot, and AJ Green should be for DeAndre Hopkins. And, yeah, Demaryius Thomas should be switched with Larry Fitzgerald. And, because Larry Fitzgerald was in my top 5. And, yeah, he was in my top 5. He was number 5. Just wondering, guys. Just wondering. Alright. So this is a list that I do respect, but I don't agree with.
A really fascinating list because there are a lot of playmakers in the league that are getting it done. I love,
especially Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown should be number 1. Julio Jones, really, man.
Julio Jones at the top, but the guy that is a little outplaced for me is Odell Beckham Jr. And I love Odell Beckham Jr. I like what he brings to the table. I think he's one of the young rising stars at the position. But to rank him over AJ Green and Dez Bryant and Demaryius Thomas and some of the other players that have done it for a long time, pump your brakes a little bit, Wes.
Yeah, the one.
Bucky Brooks is right. Like, Odell Beckham, you're a rookie and you made one catch to make you famous. That's basically what he's saying.
One that jumps out to me is just Dez Bryant. I mean, I know he's hurt right now, but let's not go out of sight, out of mind, because he is much better than the 7th overall receiver in the NFL. I put him up there in the top 3, but there's a couple questions specifically I want to hit you on here, Buck. And this one's interesting to me. The same draft class, right? Julio Jones, AJ Green, both studs coming out, and both are off to a phenomenal start to their career. Got a little green.
Yeah, got paid.
Getting paid. But Julio Jones, is he officially? Can we say he's officially head and shoulders? Or he is the guy over AJ?
So is Julio Jones officially better than AJ Green? Yes. Julio Jones is a lot more physical. I think he's a little bit bigger. I don't know for sure. He could definitely catch in traffic. AJ Green, I don't know if he could really catch in traffic, but yeah.
AJ Green right now.
Julio Jones right now is the best receiver on the planet. I wrote about this early in the week. He is playing at a lights out phenomenal level. I think he's going to win the Triple Crown, which is hard to do in the NFL. He's going to lead the league in receptions. He's going to lead in receiving yards and also touchdowns. I think he's playing at another level. Right now, I have to give him the edge over AJ Green, and I like AJ Green. I just think that Julio Jones is playing at a level that we haven't seen in a long time.
Bucky Brooks, you're just right today. Yeah, Bucky Brooks is definitely right. Julio Jones is definitely better than AJ Green.
Time in the National Football.
You won't hear me say anything bad about AJ Green, and I feel bad saying this. You know, Julio Jones, I would say yes, I would take him over AJ Green. But let's not forget, AJ Green put up 2 bills against the Baltimore Ravens last week. He is still an elite, special talent. He's a little leaner, a little different body type.
See, AJ Green has been to the postseason and has only caught 1 touchdown. Yeah, he was kind of injured, but still, like, really, like.
I'd go up and get the football. Very smooth, a more power runner than Julio, but Julio just gives you that raw strength and power and speed.
I mean, it's really hard for me to say that AJ Green is second to anybody because when you look at the ball skills, the way he adjusts, the way he makes plays vertically and also on the intermediate part of the field, he is a tough guard. He's a tough cover, but it's something about.
See, AJ Green, he's really strong. Like if you just watch that play, 2 broken tackles. If that was Julio Jones, probably would have gotten tackled. But for AJ Green, he definitely shows a lot of commitment.
Julio, the explosiveness, I think he's a man-eater in terms of he just blows through defensive backs. A.J. Green doesn't do it in a way. He does it in a more finesseful way.
Calvin Johnson, best days, is he looking through the window here? Is he looking through the rear view window?
All out the rear view. I think right.
Calvin Johnson's best days behind him. Well, he did have a pretty good year. I think he caught, on Thanksgiving, he caught like 3 or 4 touchdowns against the Eagles on Thanksgiving. I watched that game. Calvin Johnson was a monster. Calvin Johnson was insane. Matthew Stafford threw, I think, 5 touchdowns, and Calvin Johnson caught like 3 of those. Yeah, that's. But I don't think that his best days are behind him. I mean, yes, he did retire this season, which I don't think he should have done. But yeah.
Now what we're seeing is a guy that is descending. He's coming back to earth. He was a guy, Megatron. We anointed him. He was a guy that was a freakish athlete, did everything that you wanted to see on the field, could take short passes and go the distance. Always.
Bucky, you're just not right today. Not today, but on this question, I don't think so. He's a really good receiver, really big, 6'5".
He's won the jump ball, but right now I'm not.
That's why it's called the Megatron, to be honest.
In the same level of dominance. Obviously, his quarterback is not playing at a high level, but he's just not dominating the game like some of these young guys we're talking about. Dez Bryant, Julio, A.J. Green. Not quite there yet, so we need to bring him down a bit.
I agree with you. I think his best days are behind him. I think he still draws the same amount of attention from a defense. But the thing that made him special was even with that attention, he was able to make big plays, and we're just not seeing those big plays anymore at the moment. For Calvin Johnson, I do believe his best days are behind him. All right, Buck, final question for you. The most underrated player at the wide receiver position.
Okay, the most underrated wide receiver. Well, this is a little bit before the season started, so they didn't know that Eric Decker played like he did. But Eric Decker, man, he's old. He might have injury issues, but, like, he's really underrated. And today, in this NFL, he got over 1,000 yards. I think he got over 100 receptions. Like, Wes Welker, he's definitely underrated. But, you also have Brandon Marshall in that talk. And DeAndre Hopkins in that talk. All of those guys are underrated. Jarvis Landry. Yeah.
Is who?
Man, there's so many guys that you can talk about on that list. I would say maybe T.Y. Hilton, but I'm going to go even deeper in the AFC South.
Yeah, T.Y. Hilton, I mean, even with the injury of Andrew Luck, like, I think he's just fast. I think that's all T.Y. Hilton is.
Kendall Wright is a guy that I think is going to make the leap from just being to great. And
really, Kendall Wright, the Titans wide receiver, he is really good. But I do think Dorial Green-Beckham is going to be really good, too. I think they'll be competing at that number 1 receiver spot.
Part of the reason is because he has a connection with Marcus Mariota. His ability to make plays with the ball in his hands sets him apart. His ability to take bubble screens and slants, those quick